Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we will analyze the stock of Walmart. Walmart trades under the ticker symbol WMT. If you watch this video till the end, you will understand my whole thought process which underpins my decision-making process before investing in any stock as an experienced investor. And the 14 dimensions which I look at while analyzing companies shows excellent correlation between what the world's most renowned investors think about those stocks. For example, you can see my video on Alibaba to see what I am talking about. I will provide the link at the end of this video. Also, as a thank you to my subscribers, soon we will be having some great giveaways on this channel from time to time. Before we go ahead, nothing in this video is a financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and the content of this video is based on my own opinion and my own interpretation of facts. My aim of making this video is to inform you about the key ratios and numbers. This vital information will definitely help you in doing your own research, and you will also have my own unbiased opinion too. So based on the opinion of 22 Wall Street analysts offering 12-month price targets for Walmart in the past 3 months, the average price target is $172.48 US with a high forecast of $190 US and a low forecast of $156 US. The average price target represents an 18.32% increase from the current price of $145 US. And as you know that Walmart is a dividend paying stock, one of the major concerns is that the Walmart's dividend yield has been constantly decreasing since 2014, as we can see in this graph. Now we will provide a brief overview of Walmart, and later on we will thoroughly analyze the feasibility of Walmart as a long-term value investment. So according to TipRanks, Walmart boasts retail and wholesale businesses. It offers an assortment of merchandise and services at everyday low prices through its stores, Walmart.com and mobile apps. The company conducts its operation through 3 business segments: Walmart US, Walmart International, and Sam's Club, membership-only warehouse clubs, and samsclub.com. The company was founded by Samuel Moore Walton and James Lawrence Walton in 1945 and is headquartered in Bentonville. Therefore, due to strong buy rating and bullish sentiment, I had to cover the Walmart stock so that we can have a look at the Walmart stock from a long-term value investment centric perspective without getting caught in the hype. I believe it is always better to do our research so that we don't end up paying more for the value that we will get as a result of investing in an asset. Now let's analyze the Walmart stock through our 14 value-centric dimensions to evaluate its feasibility as a long-term value investment. I will also be interested to see how much score we get out of 100 for the Walmart stock. So as always, I will be interested to see if we can get a score of over 75% over the time frames of 3, 5 or 10 years to see the parallel or correlation between our feasibility analysis and the opinions of analysts. In other words, I will be interested in seeing how well our dimensions converge to the same conclusions as the analysts who have given it a strong buy rating on TipRanks. So the whole point of this video is to give my own unbiased opinion about the Walmart stock. Later on, if our dimension analysis validates its feasibility as a good investment, we will look at the current state of the market through the lens of 6 critical dimensions to gauge if it is the right time to accumulate Walmart stock, or shall we wait for the market to offer it to us for a cheaper price. Now let's go ahead and first analyze the Walmart stock via the 14 dimensions of value-centric investment feasibility. So the current price of the Walmart stock is $144 US. Its market cap is $402 billion US. The PE ratio over the trailing 12 months is 40. The PEG ratio over the trailing 12 months is 65.6. The earnings per share over the trailing 12 months is 4.75. The price to book ratio is 4.6. The price to sales ratio is 0.7. And the current price to free cash flow ratio is 15.2. And looking over the past 5 years, the average revenue is 2%, the average asset growth is 3%, the average equity growth has been -1%, the average net income growth has been 9%, and average liability growth has been 6%. So we can see that the total revenue increased from 408 to 524 billion US, which is not a very great percentage increase on average per year during this time frame of 10 years, while the net income increased from 14 billion US dollars to 15 billion US dollars, which is an increase of 1 billion US dollars over a course of 10 years. The graph of total assets over total liabilities shows that the assets have always been more than the liabilities and the graph always remains over 1. But in case of total current assets over total current liabilities, we can see that the graph has always been over 0.8. Ideally, we will also like it to be over 1, but it is not the case for Walmart. But still, it is pretty decent. And looking at the PE ratio, the price to book ratio and price to sales ratio, I focus mostly on the PE ratio since it shows me the number of years it will take for the earnings of the shares to add up and become equal to the current stock price. So it is a good way to see how much value we are getting by buying a stock. So the stock has almost never been on discount in the last 3 years, and if we look at the last 3 years, we can see that the average PE ratio was over 31, 41 and 21 in 2018, 19 and 20 respectively. Since we only invest in stocks where the PE ratio is less than 20, maybe in 2020 there were some months or weeks where the PE ratio of the Walmart stock was less than 20. For 2021, PE ratio is not mentioned over here, so we will have a look at it later on if we get a good overall score for our value-centric investment dimensions for the Walmart stock. And as far as the yearly percentage growth rates of total assets, total liabilities, and equity growth are concerned, they all have mostly remained positive for the last 10 years. However, over the last 5 years, we can see that the total equity growth has been negative in 2016 and also in 2017 as well as in 2019, whereas it was positive for the year 2020. And ROE has remained over 8% and 23% during the last 10 years. And the ROIC has remained between 5 and 15% during the last 10 years. These numbers are very important since they reveal the strength of the company as a value creation machine and the competence of its management. So we look for both of them to be over 20 on average during the time frame over which we are analyzing the stock. And normally we analyze the stock over the time frames of 5, 10 and 3 years. But of course the percentage of 20% is not something which is set on stone, and it depends on the sector in which the company operates also. And the gross margins have been over 25% over the time frame of the last 10 years, the last 5 years and also the last 3 years. And during the past 5 years, the EBITDA margins have remained between 5% and 10%, while the operating margins have remained between 3% and 5% respectively. And in the end, the net profit margins have remained between 3% and 1% during the last 5 years. If I would see such numbers in a software company or an SaaS company, I won't invest in it ever. But in case of Walmart, it is in an industry where margins are low and the growth is also low. And as far as the diluted shares outstanding are concerned, they have continuously decreased from 2010 till 2020, and the yearly average rate of share reduction is considerable since they decreased from 4 billion shares to 3 billion shares during the past 10 years. And now let's have a look at the overall score of the 14 value-centric dimensions over the past 10 years, the last 5 years and the last 3 years. These scores show the feasibility of the stock as a long-term value investment over different time frames. Feel free to pause the video if you want to look at each of the dimension in a certain time frame and the result of it. So over all the 3 time frames which we consider, meaning the 10 years, 5 years and 3 years, we get very low scores of 29%, 29% and 36% over the time frames of 10 years, 5 years and 3 years respectively. Now, as I say, these dimensions show vital information and act as a disciplined approach, but we need diagnostic skills also to see what underpins the scores for each and every dimension. So as I mentioned before, the first thing is that for retailers, the profit margins are very low and they are not as great as software companies or SaaS companies as I mentioned before. Also, huge companies like Walmart anyways grow very slowly. And thirdly, companies with such a long history are perceived as safe places for parking wealth, especially if they pay dividend, and Walmart pays a quarterly dividend, though it is modest, but it does. But we also saw that its dividend yield has decreased considerably over the past years, as we saw already. So where does this positive perception about Walmart come from? So we know that Walmart is a household name in USA, so it adds to its perception. But as a value investor, I always look for the value that I am getting by buying the stock, by neglecting all the noise and focusing on the value-centric fundamentals and numbers so that I can get an idea of the company's feasibility as a value investor, so that I can buy when the market offers the stock to me for a sale price, so that I can buy the stock from Mr. Market for a very discounted price. So Walmart is not the company that I will be investing in, and I am not a big fan of parking my wealth in a company which has slow growth, very less profit margins, and even though it pays dividend, but the dividend yield is decreasing considerably. So we conclude that the result of our dimensional analysis is not in agreement with the opinions of analysts about the Walmart stock. Therefore, since we look at an overall score of 75%, I believe the Walmart stock is not a great value investment at this point, and I can look at other sectors to find good stocks. Even though Walmart failed to get a good score in the dimensional value centric analysis, and we won't be investing in that. But anyways, let's go and see what the smart money is doing, or let's say what the hedge fund managers are doing and what the insiders are doing. Are they buying the Walmart stock or are they selling? And are they agreeing with analysts or are they contrarians like me? And also we will see whether the price is too high or not. So looking at the price chart, just look at that. From October 2016 onwards, just look at the price. It has increased tremendously. And now we are pretty close to the all-time high. So essentially what the analysts are telling us is to buy the stock at all-time high. And look at what the smart money is doing. So the hedge funds are not accumulating the Walmart stock currently. You can see very clearly that the holdings have been almost the same over the past 2 years. And the reason is that, okay, fine, they are not selling the Walmart stock because it pays quarterly dividend and money flows in, though it is quite little. And look at what the insiders are doing. So in the past 1 year, just look at what has been going on. There has been a lot of sell transactions and very few buy transactions. So even the insiders know that the stock is overpriced and they are doing the right thing by taking profits. Taking profits is a good thing, right? Because the markets don't owe anything to us. Therefore, our analysis shows that it is not the right time to buy and is not a good value investment at this point. I will be paying too much for the value that I will be getting. Once again, buying a stock at price which is very close to the all-time highs is something which an immature investor does, but not something which savvy investors do. No matter how much the hype, there are other companies and options on the market that will provide a good value for the money that we will pay for their stock currently. It is our job to look for them and analyze them before investing. Please let me know in the comments below, do you think that Walmart is a good value investment, and do you think that we should buy it at current price or not? Please let me know in the comments below. I hope you liked the content of this video. If you would like to see such videos with my unbiased opinion and my own unique style of analyzing stocks, please drop a like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.